Looks like Blake Lively's love affair with the Hollywood Reporter might have ended this weekend, as her reaction to that article is unreal. But what was even more crazy is the fact that the Hollywood Reporter got exposed this weekend for changing its article multiple times and then blaming a technical glitch when they got called out.
Somebody is not a fan of the truth getting out there. I'm a fan of the truth. Or at least hearing all sides. And the more you know, the more perspective, context, and full understanding you can hopefully achieve.
Well, it looks like Blake Lively is furious about the Hollywood Reporter cover that came out yesterday. I think we've all seen the cover. Blake even had one of her representatives make a public statement about the cover, and wait until you guys hear what this representative said.
In a surprising twist of events that rippled through Hollywood's glossy veneer, renowned actress Blake Lively found herself at the center of a controversy sparked by an audacious magazine cover. The cover, emblazoned with a headline that proclaimed "The Unfiltered Truth, Blake Lively Exposed," quickly became a lightning rod for discussion among fans, critics, and industry insiders alike. What began as a seemingly innocuous publication soon evolved into a heated debate about privacy, image, and the unyielding power of truth in the age of celebrity.
And while obviously blaming his religion, it doesn't excuse Blake's behavior, which I was never trying to imply, I did see it as a little bit of an out that could potentially help her and her team try to use, and obviously not everyone's going to accept, but man, she's not going to take it. She's not at all going to accept that theory, because of course she's not, and instead she slammed the entire cover for being sexist.
In February 2025, Blake Lively found herself at the center of a media storm following a controversial cover published by The Hollywood Reporter. The cover featured an illustration depicting Lively using a slingshot to hurl a cell phone at her co-star, Justin Baldoni, who is shown clutching a copy of their film's source material, It Ends With Us. This portrayal was intended to symbolize the ongoing legal dispute between the two actors, but instead ignited widespread criticism for its perceived offensive undertones and trivialization of serious allegations.
Lampooning her article. So the statement says, in addition, let me start at the beginning here. Here's the statement. It says, "The framing in this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every sexist trope about women who dare to file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation that comes their way. In addition, the story is extremely offensive as it incredibly seems to explain away documented examples of SH and retaliation by calling them cultural misunderstandings." This statement from her is unbelievable. This woman is the most tone deaf and ridiculous. I can't even.
What is problematic about this? Well, let me tell you what the former Keeper of Dragons thinks. The framing in this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every sexist trope about women who dare file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation that comes their way. Delulu Lively knows exactly what she's doing.
Lively's spokesperson did not mince words, stating, "The Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself." The representative elaborated, "The framing in this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every offensive trope about women who dare file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation that comes their way." This strong rebuke highlights the frustration and offense taken by Lively and her team, who felt the cover not only misrepresented the situation, but also perpetuated harmful stereotypes about women who speak out against workplace misconduct.
Yesterday, I told you all that The Hollywood Reporter shared what I think is one of the most important reads to help us understand what truly happened on the set of their movie. But Bossy Blake is not a fan of the piece. In fact, the expert in taking zero accountability is attacking the respected Hollywood trade publication. A rep for the aspiring lawyer who has taken authorship of her court case has said, quote, "The Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself." Not only do they take issue with the article itself, but also with the image used to promote the latest issue. They've got it on the cover and it looks like this. Bum bum bum! Blake versus Baldoni, an exclusive look behind the battle lines of Hollywood's uncivil war.
The accompanying article further exacerbated the situation by suggesting that the documented instances of misconduct and retaliation were merely cultural misunderstandings. This narrative was met with outrage from Lively's camp, with her spokesperson emphasizing that such a portrayal diminishes the gravity of the allegations and undermines the experiences of those who face misconduct. By framing serious accusations as simple miscommunications, the article was seen as dismissive and undermining the legitimacy of Lively's claims.
Yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter dropped this insane cover. Blake vs. Baldoni, an exclusive look behind the battle lines of Hollywood's uncivil war. Clearly, there's a lot going on in this cover. When I saw this cover, I knew that Blake Lively was going to be upset, but I didn't expect her to comment on it so publicly. A spokesperson for Blake Lively said The Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself. The framing of this picture is outrageously insulting as it plays into every sexist trope about a woman who dare file a workplace complaint, turning them into the aggressor and suggesting they deserve the retaliation that comes their way.
The illustration on the cover drew inspiration from the biblical tale of David and Goliath, aiming to depict Lively as David confronting the giant Goliath, represented by Baldoni. However, this artistic choice was widely criticized for its insensitivity and for making light of the serious nature of the legal battle. Critics argued that using such a metaphor reduces the complex and painful realities of misconduct and defamation to a simplistic and offensive caricature.
The soon-to-be former actress thinks that she is smarter than us. I hate to break it to you, Nepo baby, but we are not dumb. Most people can clearly see that this is a reference to David versus Goliath. I think The Hollywood Reporter has been watching my videos or any of the interviews where I've spoken about this, and I've repeatedly compared it to a modern day David versus Goliath. Just imagine her husband right behind her head.
We need to talk about the symbolism in the Hollywood Reporter cover that is clearly referencing the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively lawsuit drama. This is insane. I have no idea how I feel about it, but let's talk about the symbolism. Let's start with the flower petals ricocheting off Blake Lively. I believe this is in reference to Blake Lively promoting the film as a fun summer movie, telling people to wear their florals. Now the phone that Blake Lively has in the cartoon in a slingshot pointed at Justin Baldoni. I believe that this is in reference to Blake Lively claiming that Justin Baldoni started a smear campaign against her on social media. Now Justin Baldoni holding the book. This could mean two things. One could be that Justin Baldoni's studio owns the rights to the books and Blake allegedly wants the right.
The legal dispute between Lively and Baldoni began in December 2024 when Lively filed a lawsuit alleging misconduct on the set of It Ends With Us. Her claims detailed inappropriate behavior, including intrusive questions about her personal life and unprofessional conduct during filming.
Now, Baldoni's lawsuit is 179 pages, so in case you don't have time to read through it all, I want to read you a direct quote from the complaint that essentially summarizes everything that Baldoni is alleging. He says, "Lively wields immense power as one of the world's best-known celebrities. She set out to destroy plaintiffs' livelihoods and businesses if they did not bend to her incessant demands, and when they refused to give way, she did exactly that, accusing them of foul and reprehensible sexual misconduct." Now, I reached out to Baldoni's attorney, who tells me that they have copious amounts of text messages and emails and other evidence that they say proves that Baldoni did nothing wrong. I reached out to a representative for Blake and Ryan. They have not responded yet.
We're going to be talking all things Blake Lively and her legal complaint that she's filed against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Yes, the It Ends With Us movie drama does in fact not end. What's interesting about this story to me is the Justin Baldoni of it all. He is a self-proclaimed male feminist. He's woke. He speaks out against sexual assault and sexual harassment, even toxic masculinity. And now in this legal complaint filed by Blake Lively, he's being accused of sexual harassment.
I challenge you to see if you can use the same qualities that you feel make you a man to go deeper into yourself. And will you be man enough to stand up to other men when you hear locker room talk, when you hear stories of sexual harassment, when you hear your boys talking about grabbing ass or getting her drunk? Will you actually stand up and do something so that one day we don't have to live in a world where a woman has to risk everything and come forward to say the words "me too"?
This is gonna be really awkward if these allegations are true. I will say, just for the record, I'm not a fan of either of these individuals, and something about both of them rubs me the wrong way.
In response, Baldoni filed a countersuit accusing Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, of defamation and attempting to damage his career. This legal back and forth has not only captivated the public, but also sparked discussions about workplace ethics, power dynamics in the entertainment industry, and the challenges faced by individuals who come forward with allegations against prominent figures.
Justin Baldoni is now involving Taylor Swift in his lawsuit against Blake Lively. So Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicists for over $400 million for all the It Ends With Us drama. Now he's name dropping Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, in the mix. Thankfully, Taylor Swift is not being sued, but she's mentioned in his 179-page paper complaint, and he's alleging that Taylor's fame was used to pressure him during production. And it really all stems from this penthouse situation where Blake and Ryan live. Apparently there was a meeting there with all of them, and Taylor Swift was actually present, and Blake ended up rewriting one of the scenes. And even after the meeting was over, Baldoni texted Blake this, saying, "I gotta put my glasses on for this one, the font is too small. Also was working on the rooftop scene today. Really love what you did. Makes it so much more fun and interesting."
This was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit, and I don't think she ever wanted to do this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked, and instead the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way to the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a sexual claim. There never was a sexual claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
There was actually no allegation of sexual harassment until the lawsuit was filed.
The legal dispute has also entangled Ryan Reynolds, Lively's husband. Baldoni claims that Reynolds initially expressed admiration for him during the filming of It Ends With Us, even sending messages of support. However, tensions reportedly arose when Reynolds sought to take over and rewrite the film's script, a move Baldoni resisted. Baldoni alleges that this refusal led Reynolds to align with Lively against him, further complicating the professional relationship between the parties involved.
Ryan Reynolds is backing his wife Blake Lively 100%, but his claims on Justin Baldoni are being proved false, where Justin Baldoni just exposed him. And in 2024, doing the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds introduced the character of Nice Pool, saying it was his own creation. The character of Nice Pool had one interesting line where he was talking about the character Lady Deadpool, which was voiced by Blake Lively, saying she just had a baby but still looks good. And because of that, Blake Lively's It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni has come out saying the character of Nice Pool was created just to make fun of him, and that line was used to bring up the idea that Justin Baldoni was critical of Blake Lively's post-pregnancy weight. Since that movie came out, nobody's been celebrating despite it making $351 million, with Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and Ryan Reynolds supporting her. Now Justin Baldoni has come out against Ryan Reynolds, pointing out that Ryan Reynolds actually liked him throughout the entire process of filming, and even texted Justin Baldoni at one point saying, "I just happen to adore you." Justin Baldoni's claim is that Ryan Reynolds actually loved Baldoni until Ryan Reynolds wanted to take over and do a rewrite of the script, which he wouldn't allow, and then after that point Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds turned on him. Because of that, Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for $400 million, and with that I'm Charles Pearl, please subscribe to learn.
Lively demanding 2 years of Baldoni's record suggests she lacks solid evidence. If she had proof, she'd focus on the 2 months before filing the lawsuit. Requesting 2 years increases the chance of finding something suspicious, as people use their phones in ways that could support her claims.
Despite the fact that the New York Times claimed that they had thousands of pages that were handed over by Blake's team in order to confirm the details to publish in the New York Times, right? Except she wants to subpoena all of their phone records, including locations, text message, regardless of the recipient, regardless of the subject matter, dating back 2 years. Which to me tells me, one, she clearly doesn't have any evidence to prove this if she's had at least 2 months now since the filing of her original complaint to try and pull something together, right? To pull a rabbit out of the hat. But if we're gonna go back 2 years, she's saying that what, this alleged smear campaign dated back 2 years against her? That doesn't sound like she's looking for evidence. That sounds like she's looking for dirt. Sounds like her legal team plans to comb through all of the phone records to find something incriminating. Now, this is my own speculation, my own theory. I'm not stating this as fact, but it kind of sounds like they want to dig up some info to maybe strong arm Baldoni's legal team. Because why else would you want access to all that info? I don't know, what do you think? Drop a comment below.
The high-profile nature of the case has attracted commentary from various media personalities. Megyn Kelly suggested that Lively's actions might be a strategic attempt to take control of the film project from Baldoni, describing him as an overly feminized man. Such remarks reflect the polarized public opinion surrounding the dispute, with commentators offering differing perspectives on the motivations and behaviors of the parties involved.
I defend Justin Baldoni in this lawsuit with Blake Lively because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man I've had to endure in recent history. Everything he says is self-flagellating over the fact that he's a man, but he's, to me, is sort of the embodiment of what happens when you totally emasculate a man. And then she continued, she took that stiletto and stuck it in his heart when he was down there self-flagellating, being so sorry for anything having to do with his testosterone. And so that's what happens to you, right? You run into somebody who seems like a witch who will take advantage of you and hurt you until finally even that kind of a guy rises up. Now, he didn't do it himself exactly. He hired a badass named Brian Friedman. And he has badass women like me defending him. Mm-hmm. But slowly but surely, I think the male class is learning down on the floor, squirming and apologizing for being a man is not the way.
The controversy surrounding the Hollywood Reporter's cover has also reignited debates about media responsibility and the portrayal of women in the press. By depicting Lively in an aggressive and confrontational manner, critics argue that the magazine reinforced outdated and harmful stereotypes that portray women who speak out as troublemakers or aggressors. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the media's influential role in shaping public perception and the importance of handling sensitive topics with the nuance and respect they deserve.
So Blake Lively came out, or her team came out and criticized the article that was basically about how Justin Baldoni's faith, the Baha'i, had something to do with people feeling uncomfortable on set or whatever.
And also it was a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Maybe they said.
Yeah, but then her team came out and they criticized the cover for being sexist, basically. And now...
And kind of making fun of the whole situation, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was a lot of criticism out there about that cover. Did they make fun of it?
I think that was one of the... That was
that
some
they
of the
were
criticism.
mocking it.
Yeah. So sort of like not taking her accusations
just
serious.
Like Ryan Reynolds did on SNL.
What do you think about the Hollywood Reporter's cover and Blake Lively's response? Do you believe the media should be more responsible in how they portray sensitive issues like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.